In the heart of the 17th century, the Virginia colony stood as a symbol of England's ambition in the New World. It was a land of opportunity, but also a land of stark inequality and simmering tensions. The colony's elite, wealthy planters with vast land holdings controlled the political and economic landscape. Below them, a growing class of freed indentured servants struggled to carve out their own existence. These former servants, having served their time, found themselves landless and facing a harsh reality. The fertile lands they coveted were increasingly scarce, pushing them to the fringes of the colony, closer to Native American territories. This volatile mix of social and economic anxieties created a powder keg, primed for ignition. The conflict with Native Americans was a central cause of the rebellion. As colonists pushed further into indigenous lands, skirmishes and raids became increasingly common. The Susquehannock tribe, caught in the crossfire of colonial expansion, faced particularly brutal attacks. The colonial government, under the leadership of Governor Berkeley, seemed indifferent to the plight of the frontier settlers. Berkeley, more concerned with maintaining lucrative fur trade with the Native Americans, hesitated to offer military support against them. This perceived neglect fueled resentment among the colonists, who felt abandoned by their own government. Into this cauldron of unrest stepped Nathaniel Bacon, a wealthy and ambitious planter. Bacon, though part of the elite, shared the colonists' frustrations with Governor Berkeley. He condemned the governor's inaction against the Native Americans and tapped into the growing anger among the people. In 1676, after a series of Native American raids on frontier settlements, Bacon took matters into his own hands. He rallied a militia of volunteers composed of both freed indentured servants and some enslaved Africans, and launched attacks against the Susquehannock. Bacon's actions, initially focused on the Native Americans, quickly escalated into a full-blown rebellion against the colonial government. Governor Berkeley declared Bacon a rebel and attempted to quell the uprising. However, Bacon's militia, fueled by popular support, gained strength. They marched on Jamestown, the colonial capital, forcing Berkeley to flee. Bacon and his followers, emboldened by their victory, torched Jamestown, sending a powerful message of defiance against the established order. Section 5. A colony in flames, Jamestown and the death of a rebel. The burning of Jamestown marked the height of Bacon's rebellion. It sent shockwaves through the colony and across the Atlantic to England. But Bacon's triumph was short-lived. He fell ill and died of dysentery in October 1676, just a few months after capturing Jamestown. With their charismatic leader gone, the rebellion lost momentum and was swiftly crushed by Berkeley's forces. Section 6. The aftermath, reprisal and the rise of slavery. The rebellion's defeat ushered in a period of brutal reprisals. Governor Berkeley, eager to reassert his authority, made an example of the rebels. Executions were widespread and properties were confiscated. The rebellion had exposed the deep social and economic divisions within Virginia, and the ruling elite sought to prevent such an uprising from happening again. To consolidate their power and ensure a more stable workforce, they turned increasingly to African slaves. Section 7. Shifting Sands colonial policies reshaped. Bacon's rebellion had profound consequences for colonial policies. The rebellion shocked the English crown, revealing the instability of its colonial venture. In response, England dispatched troops to Virginia to restore order and replace Governor Berkeley. The crown also sought to address some of the grievances that had fueled the rebellion, particularly the issue of land distribution. However, the most significant shift was the hardening of racial lines. Section 8. Echoes of Rebellion, Bacon's Legacy. Bacon's rebellion, though ultimately unsuccessful, reverberated through American history. It exposed the raw tensions inherent in colonial society, highlighting the plight of the landless and the disenfranchised. The rebellion also revealed the brutality of the slave system and the lengths to which the ruling class would go to maintain its power. Though Bacon himself was a complex figure driven by ambition as much as by a desire for justice, his rebellion became a symbol of resistance against tyranny. Section 9. Conclusion: a rebellion's place in history. Bacon's rebellion stands as a pivotal event in the early history of the American colonies. It exposed the fault lines within colonial society, revealing the simmering discontent that would eventually lead to the American Revolution. The rebellion serves as a stark reminder of the struggles for power and equality that have shaped the nation's past and continue to resonate in the present. It is a story of rebellion, of oppression, and of the enduring human desire for freedom and justice.